some solid state radios too. I had a kind of an 830, and I had a heat kit SB 401, 303, and 401 had a solid state receiver. I like that there. And some Drake stuff and a couple of S lines and so on. But I finally got to the point where it's getting real hard to see what I was doing, so I made them all go away. And it didn't take too long for me to at least get a couple of sets of old gear in here that I can manage to operate, and I don't have to work on them very much. This line was just recently kind of refurbed by a guy I know down south here, only about 60 miles. But he did a great job on this one. Everything is right on the money. So that's good. I've got another really old thing here. It's a Central Electronics 200V from 1961. And 75A4 receiver to go with it. That one, I got an older one, I think it's from 1975. I'm sorry, try that again. It's from 1957, and I screwed up my numbers. Yeah, I think that's what the serial number, I looked up serial number as for the build date, and I believe it was 56 or 57. Although, might be a little older than that, because I think they started making S-line stuff in 57 or 8, so I don't remember now, but it's a wonderful receiver. I always felt like the engineering and workmanship and the clever ideas were built into both these radios. The 200V is all what do we say, broadband, that is, like radios are now. You know, you just pick a spot, run the VFO, and turn the thing there, and turn the band switch to the right band, and that's it. It tunes. It's already tuned. It's got all sorts of plug-in modules for the various bands. It was only good for 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. They didn't know anything about work bands back then. But it's really cool. And there are a few gurus around the country, too, that can take care of you if you get in trouble with it. Trouble is, it weighs about 65 pounds. So if you want to send it off to somebody, it's getting a lot more expensive now than it used to be. But when I first got it, I sent it off to the guru in Virginia, Bob Lowe. He took care of it for me. And it's cooking right along. Anyway, let's see what happens here if we can do another over. You were starting to get a little weak that time, but not enough that I couldn't copy you, so that's a good thing. KC5 QXY, W7FE.
There, W7FE. The band's kind of moving in and out. I've noticed. I got you but about 10 over 9 sometimes, and then you'll fade back. Our band is moving around. And but yeah, my friend there has got a bunch of old equipment. He's got tube type stuff, old Nationals, and he's got some hybrid Kenwoods and different things. He's got a Collins. Then he's got some old CB radios, some old I can't think of the name of them now. They're 2 units, and they squealed when you keyed them up. But anyway, he's got him a little museum there at his barber shop, and he's got a back room, you know, and you can go back there, and that's where all his stuff is at. It's a real nice setup, and he's been a ham for a long time, but here lately, me and him has kind of gotten back into it and have been doing a lot of stuff, and I understand what you're saying there, too. I only do work for people that, you know, I know very well, real close friends. If you don't watch out, everybody will be wanting you to do something, and you won't be able to do anything for yourself, and you won't be able to enjoy the hobby yourself. So The fact that I'm just poor is why I learned how to work on stuff. I couldn't afford the big radios and stuff, so I had to fix what I could and to get me a decent radio. And that's how it worked out for me. And he's the same way, but he's doing pretty good for himself now. He's in his late 60s now, and he's been in the barbershop business for a long time, and I think he makes pretty doggone good money now. Back to you, KC5 QXY.
Okay, Ron, very good. W7FA. Yeah, that's a good deal when you get a career going like that and you get a good bunch of clients. You're in a town, probably not a huge town, but everybody knows where they can get a good haircut. That's the way to do it, I think. And then set up your collection of radios in the back. Yeah, that's better than some things they used to do in barbershops. They should have some gambling parlors back there or something like that. Or some back in the 20s, they'd have some illicit booze available, but after that, here in the 50s on, they used to do some singing back in there too. The so-called barbershop quartet guys would go back there and harmonize. And barbershops have always been fun. I don't remember anybody being a ham when I was growing up, so that's pretty neat. And as long as he lets people in to show them all those things, that's a good deal. I was not very good at taking on a lot of work for people, but when I first moved here from Phoenix about, I guess it was probably after I'd been here about 8 years or something like that, I ran across a guy on the air who was having trouble with something he had. I forget what it was back then. But I said, I'm sure I'll take a look at it. I found out he was 89 years old at the time. And went down and saw him, and his wife had died, and one of his adult sons had everything, and cute little dog and all that kind of thing. But I helped him out and got his stuff going, and then we got talking about what the older stuff was. And he went out and found a great KR4, and he wasn't sure if it was working. I'm not sure. He had to get a little instruction on how to run it, but I brought that home and fixed it up a little for him. And then later on, he found some radiation stuff, which was kind of interesting. There was the ST300. That was, I think, their first solid-state rig, all solid-state. It was miniature and all. That was pretty small for the day. And he went nuts with that. He went out and bought all of the accessories he could find before it. So, the speaker and the external power supply, scope and all that kind of stuff. I put that one on, and it was working pretty good. It couldn't get the problem was in the VFO. There was just one component of the VFO that had died. I don't remember now if it was a transistor or a capacitor, but in order to make sure it would work, I just got out my signal generator, fed in the right frequency. I think it was 5 megahertz signal, and I could make it work with the external signal generator, so I figured I was pretty good chance I could fix it. It turned out to work out pretty good, but the more we did it, the older we both got. And he was around 94, I think, and he was getting to the point where he'd find something he thought was really neat, and he'd just have him ship the thing to me. And I'd run it across the bench and check it out, take it down to him, set it up, and by that time he'd found something else he wanted. And he'd fill some of it off, and I'd pack it up and get it shipped for him. But, you know, it's fun to do that, especially when the guys are in their 90s and still getting around, and that's a good thing. He always said that they had told him he had an aneurysm or some kind of ism that was going to get him sooner or later, and I said, we'll be happy to operate on it, and maybe we can remove it. He didn't like the maybe part. He said, I think I'll take my chances. And he lasted, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. Died when he was like 95. So he always said, I'm on borrowed time anyway, so I don't really care. But I'll do whatever I can do up until then. So we had a good time. I guess that's kind of the fun, some of the fun parts of this hobby. As long as you don't go overboard with having people wandering in every 3 days to try to fix something for you. I got a friend like that who's a tremendous technician, but one way he figured out to deal with that is he says, I'll be happy to do that, but I don't work cheap. So, you know, he'd charge him going rate for some of the stuff, so he didn't have quite so much business from hands, since we're all real cheap anyway. Anyway, back to you, Ron, see if this band's going to hold up. KC5 QXY W7F. Hang it on, Stu.
Stu, I think somebody else might be in there hollering at you. I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm in the Central Time Zone here, and it's the sun is setting, and I'm sitting outside in a short sleeve shirt. It's getting pretty cool here on me, so I'm fixing to pack everything up and call it a night. I'm going inside. Like I said, this is my little temporary bench. I was sitting up here just testing this antenna out, and I believe somebody else might be trying to get to you there, Stu. So I'll back up here and let everybody have it, and I'm going to get out of the way. And I have enjoyed the QSO, and maybe we can do it again sometimes. W7FE, Stu, this is KC5QXY. Enjoyed it.
Okay, Ron, very good. Me too. Always enjoy contacts like these, and we get a few things talked about with common interests, and sometimes they're not so common after a while. But this one worked out well. Your makeshift or whatever, your newly designed antenna, we'll put it that way, is working just fine. So, you know, if you're for 85 watts and making out here to with the band in the kind of shape it says today, you're doing really well. Take care. Good talking to you, 73. And I'll listen again for if you said there's somebody in there trying to get a hold of me or something, we'll give it a shot. Take care, Ron. 73. W7FE cleared and QSO.
All right, thank you, Stu, for the QSO, and I enjoyed it. And 73's KC5QXY.
Okay. Hey, Clarence, how are you?